Hey, and talking about global trade, it's impossible to talk about global trade without adding the Portuguese. The Portuguese are the people who made the global trade truly global. Instead of just Europe and the Americas like Spain is doing, Portugal is going to bring every continent into these trading networks. They're the ones who are really going to branch out and make the whole world a whole lot smaller. So Portugal dominated the Indian Ocean over here with the trade routes. Now remember, we've had a video on ocean currents and how Portugal's ocean currents push them around Africa super fast. Portugal is the natural European country to do this, if you're going to stick with Europeans, because of the currents coming off the Portuguese coast. When they arrive over here, they find trade networks already set up that have been active for hundreds of years, and they have been linked by the Chinese explorer Zhang He, or He, or however you want to say his name. And so the Portuguese have a pretty easy job. When the Portuguese make it to the Indian Ocean, they sail into the middle of a very well-established trading network, but the mindset of the Portuguese is everybody's the enemy. Now, if you remember, we did the internet research on the different explorers. Vasco da Gama had a crew of criminals, of prisoners who were sentenced to death and served on his boat instead, of pirates. He had some pretty rough dudes in there. They didn't come in with open arms. Hey, stranger, you want to swap knickknacks? I got some pottery over here. What kind of food you got? They came in guns blazing. Look at all that stuff. Ooh, I want it. Bam, bam, bam. And they're going to take it. They will come in shooting because that's who da Gama and his crew were. With their cannons, with the superior steel being produced over here as compared to the steel down here, their cannons could shoot a whole lot farther than these cannons. These guys' trading ships didn't carry a whole lot of weapons on them because it was peaceful trade. But the Portuguese come in with warships and they hit all these people who were not prepared for war, and the Portuguese easily wipe out the trading fleets of these guys up in here. Now the Portuguese, in 1509, will fight a giant fleet of combined Muslim nations in the Indian Ocean and will beat them with very little problems because of the weaponry and the ship technology. With this, they're going to start building forts all over the place near the mouths of important bodies of water to where you can't get your ships through without being shot at by the Portuguese. You're going to have to stop at the port or get your boat sunk. Right? In 1514, we have not yet started the Protestant Reformation. 3 years before Martin Luther, they're going to build a fort at the Strait of Hormuz, right down here. Or was it here? Here. Anyone wanting to get into Saudi Arabia and head towards the Tigris and Euphrates River and all that, you're going to have to pass the Portuguese because they conquered that area with their technology. It's not much longer, 1511, they're going to attack Malacca, right down here. These two islands, there's a passage between them, and the ocean currents run between those two islands. If you want a boat in smooth, fast water, you're going to sail up the middle here. Now, if you go around the islands, huge waves, you might die, and it's going to take you forever to get there. But if I can control this narrowest point, nobody goes through without me being able to sink their ship. So they're going to conquer this area, they're going to put up a fort, and anyone who wants to get from this side of the world to this side of the world must pay the Portuguese to get by. And pretty soon the Portuguese Empire is based on basically blackmail and bribery and forcing people to pay taxes to them. If they can take over the key access points to the Persian Gulf, to the Indian Ocean, to the Sea of Bengal, to any of this, you can't get to China and trade and back home without going through the Portuguese. You can't get from here to here without going through the Portuguese. You can't get from here to here without going through the Portuguese. And their superior weapons and technology will totally dominate all of this stuff. So trade to the Middle East, the Muslim empires that made the Italians rich, is completely cut off. If you go back to the beginning of the Renaissance, it started in Italy here, because Italy could trade with the Muslim empires. And the Muslim empires, the Ottomans down here, could trade with everybody else. So if you want anything in the world, you got to go to him and him. And Italy got super filthy rich. But the Portuguese are going to come in and cut off all of the major trade routes to this. And these guys, the Ottoman Empire, can't get their stuff from other countries without paying the Portuguese. So pretty soon, if these guys are losing money and resources, what's going to happen to the Italians? They're going to lose money and resources. And so at some point, the Italians and the Muslims will combine for an armed navy and will attack the Portuguese ships and will lose. And at that point in the 1500s, Italy is no longer the center of the Renaissance. They're going to lose their trading power and their prestige, and the money and influence will move north into Europe, the people with the better, bigger, faster boats, the people with the trade networks, bringing in more money than Italy could get from over here. No Ottoman trade means no Italians. No Italians means no Pope. The Pope lives in Italy. That's going to very negatively affect the Catholic end of the Protestant Reformation. It's going to speed up the Protestants. And as more people become Protestant, more people are going to leave Europe, breaking that Treaty of Tordesillas about the Catholic nations and heading out to sea. And it just speeds everything up, and everything feeds off each other. I hope that helped. I hope it made just a little bit of sense and made everything just a little bit easier. By the time we finish with global exploration, the whole world is traveling the coast. From over here on the Gold Coast, we're getting gold, we're getting food, we're getting humans, right? And then we're traveling and we're dropping these humans off with this gold or silver or whatever else. China announces that if you want to trade with us, you must use silver. The only thing China will accept is silver. The whole rest of the world spends gold. But luckily, there are silver mines in Africa, and there are silver mines in Spanish Mexico. So the Portuguese go, well, where can we get silver from? Well, what if we got silver from the Spanish in Mexico? But to do that, we're going to have to sell them something. What do the Spanish need? Well, the Spanish need food, and the Spanish need laborers because all of their Indians are dying. Remember how the Spanish diseases were killing out all of the Native Americans? Yeah, Portuguese are not dumb. They will come down here and trade for slaves and humans, and they will take those over to the Americas and sell those humans to the Spanish in exchange for silver from Mexico, and then they can sell that silver over here to China and trade with China. And then whatever they get from China with their silver, they can bring back to Europe to sell or swap out. That product will come back to Africa for more humans, which will go to the Americas for more silver, which will go to China for more stuff, which will come back home and make the Europeans happy, which will come back for more humans, which will get more silver, which will go to China to get more cool deeds to come back. And pretty soon, this is global exploration. You have these patterns going all around the planet. Everything and everyone is for sale. This is where modern-day slavery comes in. The world has always had slavery, and every nation has had slavery. But it's going to kick into hyperdrive during this period because of the global economy. We need laborers, we need resources. They're selling them. Yeah. So we're going to cover that a little more in another unit. For right now, I hope this makes sense. I hope it makes everything a little bit easier to understand why the world played out the way it did.